Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Always Moving Podcast. I'm your host, Lyndon Suvanto, and this is episode 39. Today, I've got the lovely Myriam and some other guy, Tim. How you guys doing today?
Perfect, great.
What
about you?
Oh, I'm lovely. You know, it's getting cold, as I said before, getting cold. But how's Montreal? Is it snowing yet?
I saw some snowflakes a bit yesterday morning at like 5:30.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was already minus
starting.
1 degree.
Yeah. We hit it minus a couple of days ago.
My mom sent me pictures from Alberta, like maybe 3 weeks ago. They got snow. I think it melted, but they had like a blanket of snow.
Yeah, slowly starting.
But yeah, so I wanted to talk to you guys because you had a pretty fun adventure this summer, and you had like your Facebook group going, and I kept getting notifications for your pictures and stuff. It looked amazing. So you guys want to tell me what you did?
Sure.
You said?
Right. Well, we did a big road trip through Europe, through all the Balkan countries. Took us like almost 3 months. We started in Switzerland, and then we went to Italy, to Slovenia, to Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Albania, Greece. Took the ferry back to Italy, went Italy all the way up through Italy to Switzerland again. And we were in Switzerland a bit. Then we decided to go to France.
Nice.
To get to 10 countries, and then we went to Switzerland. And yeah.
That's so cool. So when you've been talking about doing a road trip for a long time, as old handball roomies, I mean, you've always been like, I just want to get in the truck and let it go. So when did you decide like, hey, this is the time to do it?
Probably a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, because I knew I was quitting handball.
Yeah.
And I was already having a good job. It paid me well in Switzerland, and then I saw the opportunity to do it this year. Yeah, I actually planned on doing Canada this year, but I couldn't take my car over yet. So we ended up doing Europe.
Yeah. Oh, so it's such a bad alternative.
Yeah. So it could be worse.
And Myriam, how did you feel like when he asked, hey, you want to do this? Were you like, oh, hell yeah? Or you're like, oh, this is crazy?
Definitely, hell yeah. I mean, I always dreamed to do this kind of road trip, especially with my dog.
Yeah.
And now to have like an opportunity to do that, and especially in Europe, which all those countries I never went.
Yeah.
So it was just like super excited for me. So no, I definitely jumped in.
Just like no hesitation. You're just like, yeah.
Oh, no hesitation at all.
Oh, that's so cool. Because like, you know, I did the road trip with Dushan on the baseball road trip, and I think I was living in France, and I think I was drunk when I messaged him, and I'm like, he's definitely just gonna be like, what is this guy talking about? And then he's like, okay, this is awesome. So take me through. You started in Switzerland.
Yes.
So
we planned on spending like 2.5 weeks in Switzerland, but the weather was just so bad, and the forecast wasn't better either.
Yeah.
So we just decided to head south and go directly to Venice, in Italy. Yeah, really chasing the sun, and then try to get good weather and sunshine.
Did you base when you would leave a place on the weather? Were you like, oh, it's here, let's go to Bosnia?
Well, we actually just had bad weather in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you remember, there was like this flood that happened at that time in Switzerland. They were like all over the news, and in Germany too. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was exactly in that time, and we're just every day, everywhere we would go, we're just like, whoo, good thing we didn't stay there. So no, yeah, that was definitely the best move of the trip to postpone our trip in Switzerland at the end of the trip.
Yeah, actually, the first camp spot, the first night in the car, like 2.5 weeks later, this area where one of my best friends lived, it was completely underwater.
No way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Shit. Okay. So Switzerland, when you were packing, what did you kind of think you needed? And did you overpack shit where you're like, why we bring this? Like at one point you get to a point like, why is this here?
No, we really thought about everything like 2 or 3 times if we really need it, and we didn't bring too much clothes. But for me, I ended up still having too much clothes, too many clothes, whatever. And yeah, but we thought about it like, what do we really need?
Yeah.
Utilities, whatever it is, and yeah.
No, I think we packed light,
Yeah.
like, and especially with the dog. Like for me, leaving Canada with her stuff and my stuff, I really had to like think about, do I really need
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, no, we did good. I would say
Yeah.
I wear almost, I think, every piece of clothing that I bought, like I brought.
Yeah.
I
That's
would,
good.
yeah.
So, did it feel tight in your vehicle when you were driving, or was it nicely spread out? It wasn't like cramped up?
No, it was fine. Like we had everything in the back in the trunk, and we tried to keep it as clean as possible,
Yeah.
more or less. But yeah, the front was always kind of like, you're a bit squeezed in a Defender anyway, but yeah, it wasn't too tight.
Yeah, that's good because like when we did ours, I was always, when you got the chance, just clean out any garbage, make sure this is your home, really. So like make it look
Yeah,
good,
Yeah.
feel good. So
But he did a really nice job with you put in the picture of
yeah,
how he did the storage in the back, and honestly, we had so much room. Like we could have brought more stuff, but good thing we didn't, because we didn't need some. But at the same time, it was so well done
yeah,
that we had like way enough space.
that's good. Yeah, I saw your pictures. I'm like, wow, this is a heck of a job. This is very German.
German engineering right there.
Yeah, it was so efficiently laid out. So just before we get into heading out and stuff, did you guys bring a lot of food, or did you plan on just going eating wherever you would go?
yeah, we had like always some spare food, like pasta or canned food,
Yeah.
or oats, whatever, things that last a long time, or things that are that don't get, how do you call it, that don't turn bad
Non-perishable, yeah.
quickly. Yeah, just in case we're somewhere in a
Yeah.
remote place, whatever. But other than that, we it's really cheap in Switzerland.
No, not Switzerland.
I've been there. It's not there.
Europe, the more south you go, the cheaper it will be. So yeah.
Okay. So then when you both decided, hey, weather sucks ass here, let's get out of here. What were you feeling when it's like, okay, the trip begins? Like, what did you feel that moment when you started driving?
We cranked the music up and we're pretty happy.
For me, like for her, the trip, I suppose, started when she entered Switzerland.
Definitely.
But for me, Switzerland was my home. So although we were already starting our trip in Switzerland, it didn't really feel like doing a big road trip, whatever. So for me, it really mentally started when we decided to go to Croatia the next day.
Yeah. That's so cool. Such a good feeling. It's just like, we
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen. Let's see.
Yeah.
So then, so you went Switzerland to Croatia, and did you spend the night there, or how long did you stay in these? Just run me through your days and your travel.
We did a pit stop in Venice.
For 2 nights?
Yeah. And then after that, we went by Slovenia. We didn't really stay there. We went to Croatia for, I think, 2 or 3 nights. Did we head to Pula already?
Yeah.
We went to Pula, a really nice place, by the way, in Croatia. I really like the spot there. We had a nice campground over there. We were just directly by the water. We could go snorkeling every day.
We actually went diving there.
Yeah, diving too. But that was in Krill.
True.
Yeah, but in Pula, we just did a lot of snorkeling. We actually planned as not staying there long, but we decided to stay another day because the spot was just so nice. People around so nice, surrounded by Germans again.
Yeah.
Germans everywhere in Southern Europe. Oh, so bad.
But snorkeling was just really awesome, and it was easy access to the water, so we could just go in the water whenever she wanted. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
And then from there, where did you head to next?
Well, Croatia is basically a country on the coast, so it's like really thin, but it goes all the way down, like really far down. And then like Bosnia has a tiny piece of beach.
Yeah.
So we actually just wanted to do like a day or two in Bosnia, but we ended up doing like 3-4 nights.
Yeah, that was
Going
really
to Sarajevo. We did some incredible kayaking.
Yeah.
Bosnia has beautiful canyons and nature and rivers and incredible food.
and people.
People everywhere in the Balkan countries are so nice, so welcoming, and after that we went because you go to Bosnia and then you go through Bosnia and then there's a piece of Croatia again with the Dubrovnik. We spent a beautiful night on top of the mountain of Dubrovnik with an incredible view.
Oh yeah.
And after that it was Montenegro.
Yeah, Montenegro
suppose,
and North Macedonia.
We wanted to spend like two nights in Montenegro, but we ended up spending 7 nights, I think, in Montenegro because it was just so amazing.
Yeah, we decided to go in a country because we were following like the water the whole time. And then Montenegro, what I really like about this country is you can have everything. You want to go in the mountains, you want to do like rafting, kayaking, canyoning, you have that. You have wild nature, and then you can go if you want to go by the beach, really pretty beaches too. And same, it's really cheap. And if you want more like luxury stuff, hotels and everything, you have access to everything there.
Yeah.
So this is really a highlight for us in Montenegro because of that, because you have access. You want something more cheap and you want to go in the wilderness, you can easily do it. Or you want to go to the beach, have party, like nightlife, whatever, you have it there too.
Yeah.
So definitely a must.
Yeah, one of my best friends was there with his girlfriend, so we meet up with him, and his girlfriend is actually from there, so we experienced some nice nightlife in Budva and did some canyoning, like 3-4 hours into the country, and had an amazing lamb, the best lamb we've ever eaten. It was incredible, and we went diving too, and we took an Airbnb for like 2-3 nights. It looks really cute little house somewhere in the far countryside of Montenegro.
Yeah.
And we actually, on the next day, we went to this beautiful lake, and it really looked like Jasper Banff lake there. It was incredible, so beautiful, like so underestimated.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. Like, I've never been to any of those countries, and I always just say on like Instagram or something, you see these pictures of the mountains or the lakes or whatever. It looks incredible.
Definitely.
Because like most of the time, Croatia and Greece, people are posting so much about it, but in the middle, there's not a lot of people that goes there. And honestly, it's really like a hidden treasure. Montenegro, especially, we really, really loved it.
Yeah. Well, you got me sold. That's where I'm headed. So then after that, where were you off to?
Albania and North Macedonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Albania is, I would say, is it the poorest, you would say?
Oh, for sure.
It's the poorest of all those countries there.
Yeah.
We sadly didn't have a good experience in Albania because we got really sick. We didn't even drink the water. We went to what is called Ohrid Lake. It's like in the north of Albania, and the lake is shared with North Macedonia.
Yeah.
So of course we wanted to go to North Macedonia to do like, let's do another country. We went to Ohrid city, which is a really cute city. We had a really great time there. We were with some Swiss friends. Really nice food again, nice people, nice nightlife. Everything was really cool. And we went into this lake, just swimming in the water that day. And the next morning, I started to get like really sick, like puking and stuff.
Yeah.
So at first, we're like, maybe the food or something. But it lasts like the whole freaking day.
Yeah.
He got sick at the end of the day, and our Swiss couple too.
Like 2 days later, they texted us.
So that's when we realized something is wrong with that place. And then I started at like, 1 a.m. because I was still sick, not sleeping, starting to look on scientific reviews and stuff, and ended up that the Ohrid Lake, especially during winter, not winter, sorry, but summer, the E. coli bacteria is really high.
No, yeah.
So, and it's a bacteria that can actually enter by your skin. It doesn't have necessarily to be like swollen by water or whatever.
Yeah.
And because we were really careful, we were always drinking in like bottle of water that we bought, whatever. And we got like so sick, it lasts us like 3 to 8 days. So yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, I had diarrhea for literally 8 days. 8 days, man. Like 4 or 5 times a day.
So probably
living in the car.
That
Can you imagine? So much fun. So, and actually, this place was suggested by two friends of my sister that were there. They left like 2-3 days before we arrived,
Yeah.
and they ended up getting sick too. But six people I know we knew were there. All of them were freaking sick and just puking and shitting. So I was,
But I puked like for like every like 2 to 3 hours for 3 days.
That's
I had the
I
worst
couldn't
fever.
eat. Yeah. Every time I was eating, it was.
I was
throwing
begging
away.
Myriam in the middle of the night to go to the car to get me some pills, man. And then I couldn't swallow these pills, and we were on the first floor, and it just like what's the word?
Kind of get stuck in your.
Yeah, it got stuck in my
It was
throat.
kind of dry pill-ish.
And yeah, it just like started off like
Not irritating, but
no, my
puking,
puking reflex,
reflex,
you know,
Your gag
gagging
reflex,
reflex. It just triggered it, and man, I never puked so bad. I almost cried. It hurt so bad. It felt like puking all my intestines out.
Sorry to laugh at you. You're fine now, but I can just picture it. Oh, let's go to this lake.
Really
Everyone's saying it's so fun.
We didn't eat for 2 days. Like on day 2, we started to eat some chicken broth, whatever, and yeah.
But that was.
Wow. Did you ever?
Well, sadly, Albania, we didn't have a good experience. But on the other hand, we met some people that did some off-road in Albania. They have a completely other version of Albania. So I will not say to people, don't go there.
Yeah.
The other way around is super cheap, and people are super nice and everything. But in our case, we didn't have a good experience there.
Yeah. Did you ever think you had to go to like a hospital?
No.
But I told him after like a couple days, if we are still like this, we need antibiotic for sure. Because if it's E. coli bacteria, shit can get like bad, like pretty bad.
But we were kind of doing a bit better every day, so
yeah.
We're not sissies, huh?
Sounds like a great time. So from there, did you stay there when you were sick, or did you keep traveling when you guys were sick?
Yeah, we had a beautiful Airbnb
that you destroyed from your illness,
like directly on the lake.
Yeah.
So we just 20 euros for 2 people, including breakfast. It's like
it's crazy.
20 euros.
So yeah, we were like, fuck this, we're not gonna drive, because every 2 hours we would have to stop anyway. So we're like, nah, just.
It's like 35 degrees.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. The weather was really bad too. Yeah. It didn't help with our fever, definitely.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a nightmare. I'm glad this.
Yeah, well, honestly, it was like we were just excited to get out of there, but we couldn't. Physically, it was just impossible.
Your temperature was almost the same as your body temperature.
Yeah.
So.
And we couldn't even go in the freaking lake to refresh ourselves.
Yeah.
We started off jumping to the lake and like, oh no! Every time we jumped into the lake, it just added like another 3 days of diarrhea.
Oh, this wasn't worth it. So eventually you recovered, and then you guys went to where after that?
Greece.
Did you like Greece more because you started feeling better and you're like, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
The sun is so much brighter.
It's like it was mentally really important to leave Albania. As soon as we entered Greece, we're like, oh, finally.
Yeah.
I would not say feel safer, but I mean we had a couple of bad experience there and there, especially Bosnia.
Sketchy.
Yeah, sketchy. And Albania is really poor, so it's just like garbage is everywhere. And then you enter in Greece, and it's a total different country. Yeah. It's way more clean, and so definitely when we entered in Greece, we're like felt like it was like tons of weight off of our shoulders.
We had a really emotional experience when we entered Greece, because there were a couple of stray dogs. Like stray dogs were everywhere, and they were like really cute. So since we have treats and dog food on board, we fed them a bit, and they were just chasing our car. And I was trying to accelerate and just leave them behind us, and you could see them in the mirror just like running as fast as they could to get some more treats. It was really heartbreaking.
Yeah, no.
This dog, it was running next to our car at like 60 kilometers.
Yeah.
The moment I saw him, I started to cry so bad, because it really felt Like he was giving all he got to like,
Yeah.
don't leave me here, don't leave me behind, and it was just, oh my gosh, that was hard. But that was one of the hardest things for me to see all those street dogs, especially those ones that were just, give it all they got to try to stay with us.
Yeah. How does Zoe do with the stray dogs?
Depends. I would say most of the time she's doing good with other dogs, especially when they're bigger than her. She kind of feel like, okay, I know my place. I'm smaller, but on another hand, she's a dominant female. So of course, it is another dominant female. Sometimes we have to be careful. But most of the time, she was really good.
Well, we never had like a bad experience, really.
We were actually scared of the street dogs could attack our dog. It happened once in Bosnia.
Yeah.
It was impossible to find a place to stay like while camping. We were in Sarajevo. That wasn't really the brightest idea we had there. Okay, went into the city, wanted to visit the Sarajevo the next day. So we wanted to stay not too far from the city. But in Bosnia especially, there's a lot, they don't have dogs as pets. They are guards. They are guard dogs. So they are street dogs, but it's kind of an interesting culture around. Like, feel like the street dogs are actually dominating like the corner of those streets, and everything is a really like it's a small community of dogs, And so yeah, and they are huge dogs. I don't know if you know dogs a bit, but they were like Turkish Bengals, Belgian Shepherds. Like just Bernardi's big dogs. It was just Zoe was the smallest dog we saw in Bosnia.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they were just really huge, like mastiff dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
So at some point we tried to park somewhere, and we think it's all right. And then Tim noticed there's a dog on the other side. There's a fence. It's like a junkyard on the other side. So like, okay, well, it's one dog barking, whatever. But then the moment we put Zoe down of the car, because we are trying to see, okay, can we install? We're brushing her teeth. We let Zoe do her thing, before going to bed. And then there's like a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth dog on the other side of the fence. Huge dogs. And they start barking AF. So we're like, okay. And then he noticed one of the Belgian shepherds started to go under one of the fences.
He had like already one arm and his head like halfway through beneath the fence.
So this is the moment was like, we wrap it up. The
We're done.
moment we were able to put Zoe in the car,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 dogs were under the fence running at us. So we entered the car and they start running after the fucking car. Like,
it was like a huge parking spot. So we drove like on the parking spot for like 100 meters. They were just chasing us until the main street. It was like,
that was nuts. Like, I was so scared, and for 2 minutes we were kind of like this, like hard breathing in the car. Good thing we didn't like set up the tent on the rooftop.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
would have been like,
fucking stuck.
honestly, with 5 dogs waiting for us down there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe.
Yeah, just to give you like a quick idea of how big the dogs are, actually like a Turkish Bengal. We met the Turkish Bengal at the kayak station where we were kayaking, and there was a female, and she was already at like 50 to 55 kilos, and the males get even better. She loved me, so she jumped up to cuddle me, and she put like one paw here, and her head was like almost higher than my head, and
she was higher than your
or
head.
even was higher, and I'm
Yeah.
1.9 meters tall, like
Yeah.
these things. And we tried to make her meet Zoe. They didn't like each other, and she was trying to kill Zoe. They were starting a fight. So the dude that was holding the Turkish Bengal, he was like a small dude, not Mark or Dolik small, but bigger, like Greg.
Yeah.
And he barely could handle her because she was so powerful, so strong.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary.
Shit. You guys had some adventures here. Just
yeah, but that was a scary one. But after that, with all the other street dogs, everything went well. Like,
yeah.
We were giving them food, so of course they were really happy to see us. And Zoe was, most of the time anyway, when we were doing that, Zoe was in the car, or I was holding Zoe. He was with the street dog. And
Oh yeah, or we met these in Italy. We met these two mountain dogs, Pyrenean mountain dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They look like golden retriever, but just man, so big, massive heads. Like they could easily like put Zoe's head in their mouth.
yeah,
And we were like on a farm. You were allowed to stay there, and then out of nowhere, these dogs approached us, and we're like, oh shit. At first, we just saw one dog, and we thought like, okay, we might give it a try with Zoe, whatever. And then we saw a second dog,
Yeah.
so big, and they were so afraid of Zoe.
Really?
In the morning, I went out of the car, out of the tent, and I made Zoe pee-pee. And Zoe is always so hyperactive in the morning. She took a branch and she was like doing like this. The other dogs, the two other dogs, man, they ran away and were hiding behind a tree. They were so afraid.
just big teddy bears. But the thing is, the moment I think they were not on their property,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's different dogs when they are in, you know, in a guarding,
Yeah.
like pretty sure,
Yeah.
because I mean, there were other animals that you can hear. There was like goose or like other like dogs, horses,
donkeys.
yes, donkeys, definitely on the other side of the farm. So, but yeah, there was just two big teddy bears,
Yeah.
but maybe out of their territory. I would not try to go actually with Zoe on their side.
Yeah, I was just curious how it was with her, but it sounds like it was pretty good, except for a couple moments.
Yeah.
But especially in Europe, it's so pet friendly. I'm not used to that, especially in Quebec. We are, I would not say really retarded about this, but kind of. But yeah, she was unleashed. We would say what, 85 to 90% of our trip.
Yeah. Everyone left her. I mean, she's a really pretty cute dog.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, everywhere you go into a restaurant, bar, they serve her water without even asking. It's just so natural there.
Yeah, we closed a bar with her.
In Switzerland, yeah, the barkeeper was giving Zoe treats. So I went to the bar to order some more drinks, and Zoe followed, and Zoe ended up behind the bar at the barkeeper asking for more treats. And of course, she received more treats then. So yeah, really different than here in Quebec.
Just like her parents, she likes to go behind the bar.
Yeah.
So back to the trip then. You from Greece, you took the ferry to Italy again?
Mhm.
Yeah.
How was that? Or how long is that trip? Is it quick? Was it rough walk?
7, 8 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah, but you get like a little room with 2 beds
Oh,
if you ask for it.
Mhm.
That
was easy.
Yeah.
And then from there, how you wrapped up because you went Italy and then you went back up to Switzerland?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we went, we were 1 week in Italy, I think.
Yeah.
It took us like 1 week to go up to Switzerland because of course we wanted to do some nice spots in Italy too. But our mistake, probably, I would not say maybe of the trip, would be to plan to go in Italy in August.
Well, it wasn't really a
Never do
mistake.
that.
We didn't really have enough. We didn't have
A
the
clue of it was vacation for everybody there.
Yeah.
no. Yeah, like August. There's also the national holiday
Yeah.
celebration day, and then everyone in Italy has their holiday in August, and they do their holiday in Italy. But we didn't have another chance to go to Italy. You know, like we couldn't just wait another 4 weeks in Greece
Yeah.
before going up to Italy. So we didn't have another chance anyway. So yeah, we wanted to spend some more time at the coast on the west coast of Italy because it's really beautiful, but was just painful. It was like everything was so full, so tight, small, like hill villages, whatever. Driving with a big car was just annoying. So we just took like 2 days to try to get out of this area, and then we ended up in the Toscana,
Yeah.
which is a
Nice.
beautiful region.
But we went to one of my, I would say, highlight of Italy. It's the city called Matera. It's in the south, like it's really like in, like I would say, middle country. So there's like the heel of the boot in Italy.
Okay.
We arrived by ferry there, and then we just headed a bit up north. I would say middle of the country, and the city is called Matera, and it's really, I would say, it's a really impressive city. Like it was really, really poor for a long time. It was kind of the, I would not say disgrace of Italy, but one of their president there once called it that.
Yeah.
Because people were so poor, they were like digging tunnels under the city and they were living there.
Yeah.
It's all brown and
Beige.
it's it's like beige.
Sand.
It's sand. It feels like the city is made out of sand. It's so. I actually thought it was really amazing, the story behind it, and
It's kind of like made into a canyon. There's a canyon beside it. It feels like they put like these stone houses into like the canyon.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and feels it's infinite like houses there and there, or just holes that people were actually living in.
Yeah.
So that was just impressive to walk through the city and feel it's so crowded.
Yeah.
Not people wise, but like because of the tiny houses, tiny spaces everywhere. So yeah, it was freaking hot though when we were there. So we didn't stay that long because it was just impossible. Honestly, there was barely no shades, no wind. So
It was like 38 degrees.
yeah. So and especially for Zoe, like we're like poor dog, like we're not gonna manage to stay there long. So then we headed to the west coast.
Yeah.
And we went to the city that is called now Maratea. So it's Matera and Maratea.
Yeah.
And there too, we really like the place. There we have a really nice campground, like up a hill. We're seeing the city and the coast and everything. It was really a hidden treasure there. So we decided to stay actually another night there too. And then we started to go up. We wanted to do the Almaficos, but as he said, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even go, like we couldn't even park the car.
We couldn't even do wild camping, like, because
There was nothing.
no chance.
Yeah.
Like there was no space and no parking. There was literally no parking. We couldn't even stop somewhere, and even restaurants. We stopped at some there and there, and we were okay. We want to go to eat, and they were like, "Did you reserve?" Well, no. He was like, "Guys, it's 15th of August. What are you thinking? Like you can't eat here."
That
So
was the
every
national,
restaurant,
national day of Italy.
every restaurant we went, if you didn't reserve, forget it. Like we
Yeah.
couldn't even we couldn't even eat somewhere. So it was just crazy. So at some point when we visited Rome and Venice, we're like, we're done with the West Coast. Let's go inner country. So we went to Toscana and
You could go like to the most remote little village in Italy on that weekend of the national holiday. And we didn't know it was national holiday. So we asked everywhere, like, you guys have a room for 1 or 2 nights? And we're like, are you guys out of your mind? It's 15th of August. And
like,
we're like,
hello.
yeah,
Like,
well, we
hello,
know
I
it's
don't know.
15th of August. So what's the point here?
Yeah, I got my calendar here. They're like, what are you crazy?
During the night, we heard the fireworks, and then we actually Googled what's on the 15th of August, and then it's like
And you're both like,
National
oh,
Day
shit,
of
no way.
Pasta and Pizza.
Pasta and pizza holiday.
So, yeah.
Oh man. So then you finished Italy and then you went back to Switzerland and had your Switzerland time?
Yeah, we spent some more time in Switzerland, and yeah, we were in the French part in Neuchâtel. We did the Grand Canyon of Switzerland, Creux de Vex. Awesome. But we had this urge to go back into the mountains, so we started driving a bit south again, back into the mountains, and we had some beautiful camp spots right in the Alps, incredible views, speechless.
With the wolves.
Oh yeah, we were in Valais, in the valleys, and there was a photographer, and he was actually trying to catch some wolves.
Yeah.
So we ended up sleeping like, I don't know, 10 minutes from where he was, and we heard so many wolves during the night. It was incredible. It was a bit scary, but it was really incredible. Like Myriam had to go to the toilet during the night, and I joined her with a knife just to make sure, because we're like, okay, like 10 minutes from our place is a photographer. He's waiting to get some wolves on tape, you know. Like,
yeah.
So
that's so cool.
So yeah, and then we bumped like 2 days later. We bumped into two other Defender drivers.
Yeah,
and in the intersection, we ended up like right in between them, and you know the whole Defender Land Rover Defender is a whole community, all the drivers. It's like one huge family. So we ended up, because we were going to kind of the same place. We wanted to see Mont Blanc, and they were also planning on going there. So we joined them, and we drove up like onto 2,200 meters off-road below the chairlifts and gondolas across the ski runs, whatever. And then we just parked our cars on the other side of Mont Blanc and had an incredible view. And yeah, that was the highlight of the trip, kind of.
That's so cool.
Which sucked because it was in fucking France with French people. Like the worst ever.
This is the funniest part about it. We would say at the beginning of the trip, we would say, you see, guys, your highlight will be with French people in France, who I would laugh so bad in your face. But it actually ended up being this just like that.
Tim just hating France. You just gotta. Man, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing the story of the trip. Because you see the pictures, but you don't hear, all these stories in between. And so I'm hoping people that followed also listen to this, because it's pretty cool, man. These wolves, that Defender community thing, it's pretty sweet. So going into questions I sent you, let's get into it now that we know the journey. You guys both have to pick just like one. What was like your favorite city that you went to?
We already discussed it, then there's no favorite city for us. There are so many beautiful cities, and every city has its little something, whatever. So I don't have it.
Yeah, I would say Matera in Italy, really one of my favorites personally. And I really like, I have a little something with Brienz in Switzerland. I have it's a Lake Brienz.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more like of a little, I don't know, just a really little paradise over there.
Yeah. So what would you say is your least favorite place you went?
Sorrento, man.
What was that?
Italy, when we were stuck in there, and well, I think Sorrento because we were there in August. Yeah. It was just crazy crowded. We almost killed like 3 motorcycles. Like.
Oh yeah, man, they drive like motorcycles, not motorcycles. They have their Vespas,
Yeah.
They pass all the traffic on your lane, like on the lane that goes into the other direction.
Yeah.
And they expect you as a car driver to make some room for them, and they were just honking. And at one point I was like, fuck it, no, stay on your side. And I was driving on the left lane. I was about to kill a couple of them, and everyone just lost their mind, because you just have to adapt to their traffic laws, and so yeah.
Hashtag no laws.
Hashtag YOLO.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's like even here in Florida, people just drive like jackasses everywhere. I'm just pissed every time. Like nobody's.
At least in Italy, they don't have like semi-automatic rifles in their compartment, like.
That's true. You got to watch who you talk shit to. I'm always like giving people the finger or something. I'm like, I'm gonna get shot one of these days. It's just gonna happen down here. So, during your trip, you said you met like a lot of people you had known, like friends happened to be places and stuff. Did you meet new people that maybe you connected with, like on social media or something afterward? Like, did you make
our guide in Montenegro?
Yeah,
true.
The guy that actually rent our Airbnb actually plugged us with the people that we were doing the canyoning.
Yeah.
So this guy is he's a traveler. He go to Alaska like pretty often as his second home that he calls it. Is a really nice dude. And the French people, definitely. The French people, the Defender drivers, his first French friends, I would say. No, but they were really, really nice people. And definitely we are staying in contact, and they maybe expect to thinking about coming in Canada with their cars, so that could be something to do.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you did answer some of my questions as you went, but looking back now, how long you guys been back?
2 months almost.
A month and a half, yeah.
What would you do differently?
I would go alone next time.
I would also avoid Italy on the 15th of August.
Well, definitely, if I have to say something to other people, don't go in Italy in August. Like, that's probably the most important thing to
Yeah, but our biggest
remember
issue was like planning. We should have planned
a bit
them
more.
a bit more ahead. We were always too lazy, and then
Well, we were living the moments. At some point, we're
Yeah.
like, well, this place is nice, let's stay. So we didn't want to do like a full schedule. We started in Switzerland, especially for the first week and maybe even the 2 first weeks, we started to like just, do a like general timeline ish. But sometimes in the country, what to do here, we didn't do enough. Like, especially in Croatia, we were already in Dubrovnik and ended up like we found a really nice diving spot. It was in Pula where we were like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So we're like, no, we missed this really crazy diving museum.
Yeah.
And so this is why we were like, okay, well, we should have planned this like in advance. So sometimes it got into an advantage because we were not expecting some stuff and we're like, oh shit, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, sometimes we're like, shit, we maybe missed there and there
Yeah.
because we didn't plan like enough,
But as you said, we were like really living the moment, and it was nice to, because you always have some kind of plan in life or like a schedule you're following, and it was nice to not have one to just do whatever you want, not care about. But sometimes it was also like,
Yeah. Oh, we blew it. But that was the same when Dusha and I did our trip. So for you guys, compared to us, we had to make the game schedule work. So because of the game schedule, we only kind of looked maybe 4 or 5 games ahead, but then some cities we just went to and had to leave. So it's always like looking back, like, oh shit, I didn't go to Atlanta enough, or these big cities. Like, so I get that feeling of, oh shit, like we didn't do this one properly. But then there's a chance to go back. So and so is there any other advice, or maybe this also goes with the other question, did you guys get sick of each other? Because I felt when Dusha and I did the trip, you have to find like the right person to do it with.
definitely.
Did you guys get sick of each other at all?
Not sick of each other, but I think it's definitely important that you have some time for your own. Like sometimes when you feel like the other one is a bit annoyed, a bit stressed, whatever, you just leave him alone. Just because you're doing the trip together doesn't mean you have to like spend every second together. Like even if it's just spending like 2 hours on your phone alone on Instagram looking at whatever, but you spend some time for your own,
Yeah.
Or to find a way to make the other know that it's now your personal time too. Or just to try to avoid, because sometimes it's more, we never had a fight except because the other one was not patient with the other one.
Yeah.
It's never like, I want to do this, oh no, but I'm not in the mood. We're always on the same level of, we want to do this, we will do it.
Yeah.
Or those kind of stuff. But sometimes, of course, it's normal to fight in those kind of trip. We're getting on our nerves pretty easily. It's more because one of the was more tired or respond in a bad way or whatever. So it's always
diarrhea for 8
right now I'm not in a good mood. Like, but it's hard to not be in a good mood alone when you're sharing the same 2 meter space because you're in the same car. So of course, sometimes it was more like, well, I need time, and you don't have to talk all the time. Not talking sometimes may be better than talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't force a conversation the whole time, because whatever, you're gonna get bored or annoyed. So like Dusha and I, a lot of what we did on long drives is you would go watch a movie on a laptop. We'd plug the laptop audio into the car. So like one person can watch, but the other person can listen or whatever. So it's like, you didn't talk, we'd listen to podcasts and do stuff like that. But like what you said, the alone time is definitely important too. So I'm glad you guys don't hate each other, because that was a question I always got from when Dusha and I did the trip. Like, you guys don't hate each other? Like, no, man, we shared this incredible lifetime experience. Like maybe at the end you're just kind of like, okay, we did it, I need a day away from you or something, but you don't. I thought it brought us closer. So
like
Definitely.
As you said, you definitely have to find the right guy or girl or a gender fluid human being. Just don't want to offend here anyone.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for
he or she were
thank you for getting my episode
Asian,
red
maybe
flags here.
Filipino.
I'm just gonna cut you off. Get off on something. So, anywho, I'm not gonna keep you guys much longer. I appreciate it. I do have some rapid fire questions I didn't prepare for you because,
Sure.
you know, Tim's probably been staring at the questions all day for 3 days. So, rapid fire questions. We can alternate who answers first or whatever. So, Myriam, you take the first one, then Tim, you can do it, whatever. So, first question: what's your next trip?
Alaska.
Nice.
Well, Canada and
Well,
Alaska.
Canada and Alaska,
Canada.
yeah. Because we are already in Canada. It's not a trip.
But
We're already in the country.
I need a break here.
This is too much talking for today. Okay.
You can go to Alaska. I'll go to Canada.
So this one you answer for the other person because maybe you've experienced it. What's the best food the other one makes?
I have to answer. Or is it soon?
Yeah,
What's the best food I make?
Your seafood pasta.
Ooh, fancy guy. And her, nothing.
It's like, honestly, most of the time I did the cooking.
Mm.
So
Bread.
bread and butter was pretty good.
So who's
Let's skip this question.
He was doing the cooking. I was doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Who's a better handball player?
Yeah, for sure me.
And last one I got because maybe I screwed up on my rapid fires. For each of you, what was your favorite handball moment you had? Because we're all handball players. That's how we all met each other. So for that little handball crowd waiting for the handball questions, what was your favorite handball moment of your career?
Well, my least favorite, I can tell you, was in Buenos Aires when I was trying to catch up on some sleep during some practices, and some douchebag roomie was locking himself into the bathroom, taking a bath and listening to loud Amy Winehouse music and singing along. It was really hard to find a peaceful sleep there. But as you said, the most favorite one was, of course, the Pan Games in Toronto.
Yeah. Myriam?
I would say 2019 with the girls in Mexico when we officially qualified for the 2019 Pan Am Games.
That's cool. I would never share that experience, but you know.
Yeah, poor you guys.
Well, you know, tough break politics. Well, guys, thank you.
Well, why? Yeah,
What's
what
my
about you?
favorite? I think it's got to be Pan Am 2015. The amount of work and camps and all that shit when we got in. I think the moment I found out I made the team, I think was my big one. Because there was like a bunch of goalies trying out and I wasn't sure how they were going to go. And then when I got the thing saying it was you, it was like, oh shit.
For me, it was actually once we were like in Toronto, we set foot on.
Yeah, you get your day. Oh man.
Because before that, I was always like, okay, don't get injured, don't get sick, don't screw it up now. You know, like it was really hard. Like for me, I was so scared that something would happen. I was thinking about calling in sick the last practices or like during the handball camp just to don't get injured or whatever. So
yeah, that was amazing. But whatever, 2019 Peru, that sounds pretty cool too, I guess. Anyway, both of you, I appreciate it. I won't keep you much longer. I hope I appreciate you being on and sharing your story. It was really cool. And you got enough Instagram photos for the rest of your lives, so you're pretty good.
Yeah, and we have a couple of YouTube videos. One is already out, and the other two parts are almost
on the making.
Nice.
Yeah, so we can actually send you the link.
Yeah, dude, I'll share it.
Whatever, people, instead of listening to this crap for 1 hour, they can just take 5 minutes of their time to look at some beautiful images of me.
Well, by the time they hear that, they've already listened to the whole episode, so I've already got
They'll be like, oh, damn it.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much again. I will let you enjoy your Sunday.
Thank you very much.
And for everybody who made it this far, not tired of Tim's voice, this has been the Always Moving Podcast, episode 39. I am your host, Lyndon Suvanto. And as we say, let's keep this thing moving.